Hi, CistReactZ. How you doing? Did you know that 70% of you guys are not subscribed? Also, did you know that I am living in those 70% walls right now? And if you want me to stop, you'll hit that subscribe button? What is up, you awesome kissers? It is CistReactZ, guys. Today we're reacting to FNAF. Micheal Afton, where are you? Five Nights at Freddy's explained FNAF Theory. So make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to Hyper Droid, and comment down below. All right, let's get into this bop.
Micheal Afton, the son of William Afton and main protagonist
Another
of the
theory.
Five Nights at Freddy's story, right? Well, we assume so, but with the release of the character encyclopedia, a book giving in-depth descriptions
Yeah, I need
of
more
the
people
whole
talking
of the
about this
characters,
book.
even ridiculous FNAF AR skins, he was nowhere to be seen and missing
Why?
from the entire book. Besides a single mention. So to make sure we're confident
Bro got
about
an
who
honorable
Micheal
mention.
is, his impact on the story, and when we see him throughout the franchise, first of all, subscribe, and then let's go on the search for Micheal Afton. In
Yeah, then
FNAF
make sure you
1,
guys
the night
subscribe
guard is
to
named
both of
Mike
us.
Schmidt, and we'd later learn from multiple sources such as the Ultimate Guide, Sister Location,
If you
and the
have not
Logbook,
already.
that this is Micheal Afton. He faces off against the animatronics for 7 nights before being fired for tampering with the animatronics,
And his
general
very, very
unprofessionalism,
bad
and
smell of the
odor.
dead.
Moving on to FNAF 2, and the guard we play as for the first 6 nights is Jeremy Fitzgerald, who eventually gets moved to the day shift after night 6 and becomes
Bro was
victim
tired of
to
the night
infamous
shift.
Bite of 87. However, on the 7th custom night we play as someone named Fritz Smith, who gets
Genius
fired
Markiplier.
for the same reasons as
Reference.
Mike from FNAF 1, tampering with the animatronics and odor, which seem to connect these two guards as one and the same. It seems that Micheal is going to these locations under an alias to hide his connection to his father and his family name, who at this point his father is heavily suspected to be a murderer, which is why he only goes by his nickname with a fake surname or a completely fake name. Moving on to FNAF 3,
I don't know why I just like kind of thought about that just because of this like theory. It's like, bro, like where did he even get Schmidt from? Like, bro's last name is Afton. He's like, you know what? Mike Schmidt. Like, what?
where we are never really given the guard's name. However, through all the nights leading up to the fire, we're playing as someone who has seen both the FNAF 1 animatronics and the FNAF 2 animatronics, in order to hallucinate them due to the agony in the location. The reason they're burned is because it's foreshadowing the fire that's about to happen. Like we hear phone
Oh,
dude
that
talk
sounds like
about multiple
FNAF's theory.
times. Not only did Scott Cawthon himself confirm that we got
said the same
everything
thing.
right and uncovered the story of FNAF 3, but something else that points the FNAF 3 guard to Micheal is the survival logbook, which is owned by Micheal. This logbook takes place during the nights at FNAF 3, due to having the office in the background of several images. Although this could just mean the FNAF 3 office was based on this, I find it unlikely
Foxy
due to how
holding
it's
a flashlight.
perfect replica to the point it contains the shells of the toy animatronics. The logbook itself taking place during FNAF 3 gives us even more reason to have it, due to anything left from the fire being sold at the public auction we hear about in the final newspaper. We also see it contains information about the spring locks, which no one would be talking about in FNAF 1 times, but would be talked about publicly when someone like Phone Dude finds out about them, and he himself is perfectly fine talking about them in the future phone calls. Next we move on to FNAF 4, which is usually the most debated section.
I like this theory, it's just
However,
going
not
right
only
on
do we
through.
hear the FNAF 1 phone calls, which
No
only
in-betweens,
Micheal would
just
hear,
going
but
right
the
on through.
gameplay is very reminiscent of FNAF 1 itself too. Not only that, but the survival
Straight
logbook
to it.
comes in handy once again, directly telling us that Micheal has the FNAF 4 nightmares. Yes, we learn in Sister Location
Look
that
at when
they
we gotta read
were
all these
real
books
to
to
some
understand, like,
degree,
the little
but the
small
current
parts in
consensus
between.
is that William experimented on the crying child with illusion discs to make him scared and keep him away from the animatronics, not wanting his son to accidentally meet the same fate as his daughter. That in the later years, the crying child somehow gives Micheal these nightmares to go through, and causes his memories to mix in and out of each other, which is why we hear the FNAF 1 phone calls, see things from the crying child's deathbed, and why Michael's as small as the child in the gameplay. However, no matter how or why the crying child gives Micheal these nightmares, or who actually experienced the real things, one thing's for certain: Micheal has the FNAF 4 nightmares as we play through them, as confirmed multiple times now. Michael's backstory, however, is shown in the FNAF 4 minigames between the nights, where Micheal bullies his brother and accidentally causes his death, apologizing to him on his deathbed, which is assumed to kickstart his character's entire redemption arc, and the main reason he's so involved with everything family and Freddys related. Moving on to quite an easy one to figure out,
The
Sister
redemption arc.
Location, which immediately
Yeah.
tells us we're playing as Mike. At the end of Sister Location, he gets his inner
Yeah, I mean, another whole thing I didn't really put into perspective until like hearing the theory. Like, Mike was really just on a whole like kind of redemption arc throughout all the games, and then just burned with everything, or at least we think he burned with everything.
Scooped out of his body after being tricked by his sister and is instead filled with Ennard as the body begins to rot away, causing it to be unusable for Ennard, whom Micheal then throws up as he begins dying.
Which must have really hurt, even if you're still dead.
He then goes on to say in his speech for William that he's going to come after him and find him. Something we learn about Sister Location in the survival logbook though, is that the Immortal and the Restless show that we watch in between nights is actually just symbolism for the world gaslighting Micheal, as he claims he relates to Clara because everything about
the world
is
gaslighting
crazy
Micheal,
and no one seems to notice except me. But it also seems to be about Michael's story itself. Within the show, we're introduced to Vlad, Clara, and the child, which I personally believe to be William, Micheal, and the missing children's incident itself. To prove this, let me go through the episodes while visually proving how this correlates to Micheal and the MCI. The first episode is about how Clara wants Vlad to take accountability for what he's doing, which Vlad gaslights him saying he has nothing to do with it. The second episode continues the argument as the baby is causing trouble in the nursery, and now Vlad attempts to leave for work, which Clara says they'll dock his paycheck. Vlad, however, says he has no job, and Clara thinks he's lying. The third, or technically fourth, episode is then about how the argument is at its peak, Clara burning down Vlad's house. The final episode shows how he eventually takes accountability and they make up, which either means nothing due to it being in the fake ending for a reason, or could just be meaning how Afton is forced to take accountability for his actions, as he and Micheal burned together. Anyways, finally in FNAF 6,
I never knew there was like a fake ending for that show. What the heck?
Which he assumes wouldn't want to get out of the fire and instead rest with the others, which is pretty self-explanatory that we play as Micheal in FNAF 6. We also know that Micheal Afton isn't the crying child like some people still believe after all this time, mostly due to a poster we see in this game containing what seems to represent the Afton family, showing Micheal as the ventriloquist doll who's extremely similar to his father, as we know is the case with William and Micheal, and is shown to be entirely separate to what's representing the crying child himself, who died at the hands of Fredbear. And in Security
I've seen that poster before, but I didn't know anybody connected significance to it.
There are 5 members of the family, which if Micheal is somehow the crying child would make
the popular family photo.
From here on out, Micheal Afton is dead and gone, right? Well,
yeah, maybe.
To a lot of people, when all the FNAF AR emails were being leaked and spread everywhere, there was one that I haven't seen touched on a lot really, something that specifically says alert.
Was this the live stream that everyone kept saying Dawko had like no time for? Because apparently he was just sitting there like the whole time with a mad face. But I seen him on Twitter say like he was enjoying his time, but it's just kind of funny just to see a clip of him just sitting there like he doesn't care.
To Micheal Afton, not Michael, but M.
Afton.
Yeah,
M. Afton.
Which to me, I don't want
to be true,
looks
like.
Micheal might still be here somewhere, but it could have been cut simply due to it not being canon anymore and now untrue. But I do think it's something that should be pointed out, as well as how the room Micheal watches TV in Sister Location is in Security Breach, which itself contains the wall code about building the breath. There are also some theories that he possesses Glamrock Freddy, but let's save that question for another video. All this stuff about his future is just food for thought, but for now I'm counting Micheal as dead, due to how any possible healing or supernatural effects that Remnant would have had on him would have been neutralized from the fire, like we learn happens to Remnant after being overheated in the Scooper Blueprint.
Yeah, but then why is Afton back? Oh wait, no, his body got rebuilt actually.
Why
Never mind.
remove Micheal? I genuinely think this is because Scott doesn't want to confirm he's the player in every single game, even if it's basically certain at this point. But even if he went with the bare basics like some other characters and said that he's only 100% in FNAF 1 and Sister Location, then everyone would assume that means it's been debunked that he's the other game's guards too. However, this might not be the actual reason, considering the missing children were also left out despite being incredibly important too, and even Phone Guy was left out despite having no theories about him and everything about him being certain. But either way, there we go. Despite the character encyclopedia not including him, I think it's very safe to say that we play as Micheal Afton in every single FNAF game, up until his death in FNAF 6. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe.
I like this format of theory videos, man. I really do. This format, it just like, you just started, and then you went all the way through, and he gave his insight throughout the video. But I like it. Like, it didn't go up to like 20 to 30 minutes of in between talking like Matt Pat has to do, so he doesn't get yelled at by the community. No, but no offense to Matt Pat, I just really like the straightforward, just here's what the title says, and now I'm just gonna go through for 7 minutes or 8 minutes and 13 seconds exactly of why I think the title is my theory and stuff. Anyway, guys, if you guys want more FNAF theories or more Hyper Droid, make sure you guys hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe for more to become a Kister today, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.